Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zed. Today I'm going to be talking about CHFS, CHF Solutions, and corporations. I'm going to go through technical analysis, news, and what I think about the stock. At any point of the video, if you feel you're missing on technical analysis, you'll find in the description below a playlist that explains each of them and what they mean. Now, let's go right into it, but before we do so, make sure to drop a like to this video to help the channel grow, subscribe, and leave notifications on. Let's jump right into it. On a 1 week perspective, what we get to see here is on the MACD, it has been positive for quite a little. What we get to see here, especially in the last week or so, it has attempted to go towards a negative reversal. Now, what happened today, after a massive jump of around 30%, it's attempting to go to the opposite way, but it's not confirmed yet. Unbalanced volume looks like it's actually a really good increase, although the willing %R on a 1 week perspective looks like it's overbought. In terms of ADX, it doesn't show that there is a trend that is yet formed, and the momentum here looks like it's still very weak. Now, if we were to look into the moving averages, we get to see that they're actually playing sideways. Nothing significant on this, and they're more trending towards the bearish side, because the 30 EMA is above the 10 SMA. If we were to look into the 1 day perspective, what we get to see here is an MACD that has gone towards positive around the 14th, 15th September, and currently was going on towards the negative part, but got rejected and has seen a massive histogram on the MACD list. Now, the volume here is a little bit unusual. It went from 6.45 million to around 40.38 million. An unbalanced volume spiked to 178 million, one of the highest it's ever been for quite a bit. I think all the way back to August, where it traded almost at around 60 cents. Now, another thing to consider for this one here, momentum looks strong on the 1 day perspective. It has escaped the bearish trading action zone, but it still looks quite bearish. And it looks like there was a Death Star recorded on the 25th of September. And so what we get to see here is still bearish moving averages, but escape the bearish trading action zones where negative reversals are likely. But if it was to dip below, I would say, the 37-cent mark, it's in quite dangers. Moving on towards the 1 hour perspective. Now, what we get to see here is something interesting as well, and this is the 1 hour perspective is merely just for the next few hours coming in towards Friday, so we're not going to give it a lot of attention here. But just to go quickly through it, ADX suggests that this trend might see a reversal sometime after 50, so it might have a little bit more fuel coming into Friday morning before it does perhaps see a negative reversal. Willing %R sits at overbought. Momentum here looks like it's quite strong, very strong, heavy here. And the MACD though looks like it's actually stabilizing, and that's a little bit dangerous thing. When your MACD looks like it's actually might be curving a little bit down or stabilizing, it's usually an indication that it might drop. Although we get to see a positive thing. Moving averages are extremely bullish on the 1 hour perspective, and it looks like it's actually heading towards a golden star. Now, what we're trying to see here, or sorry, golden cross. Now, what we try to get to see here is the potential that this might have. Now, what is the news that actually pushed it to this direction? As we get to see on the 1 hour perspective, moving averages, it does look quite bullish. And this happened almost in just 1 day, a few hours into the day, it all turned around bullish. So let's take a quick look into the moving average, and then we're heading to news. So 28 on the bottom, 32 on the top, and 35 is where it's on the top is where it's expected to be trading on the moving average band. So take a quick look into the charts here. We get to see on the Fibonacci retracements, the next resistance is at 42, but let's try to take a look into significant supports and resistances sitting closer to this mark. So there is a significant resistance sitting at the 38.8 mark, or around almost 39-cent mark. And then above that, we're looking at the 40-cent mark. And then above that, we're looking all the way to around 44. And then from the 44-cent mark, we're looking at 45, and then we're looking at 46. Now, if we start looking at supports, we get to see a very strong support at the 37-cent mark. Below that, a strong support at 36-cent mark. Below that, a very strong support at the 36 or 35.8. And then a strong one at the 35-cent, 34, 33, 32, 31, and then around the 30-cent mark. Now there is obviously a support as well, sitting where it was tested today at 29 cents, but we're going way lower than the current price action, so I'm not going to address that. The stochastic here shows something very concerning to me. We get to see it's been on the lower side for a little, and usually around this section is where you want to buy, or this section, but we get to see it's actually spiked really high. And when it does that, it's expected to do one of two things: to see a pullback and then still keep on rise, or just fully crash down. And you get to see let's right on here where it spiked quickly and it just falls down. So that could be the expectation for what we see for the stochastic fast. That is usually a dangerous sign for us. Now, quickly going on to news, we get to see on the 25th of 8, CVI investment has around 8.70% of the company. Modulus Advisors pulled out today in the run. Nothing significant recent other than 2 Sigma Securities back in early September adding towards their shares. Now, insiders, I don't see anything. No purchases all the way back from March. That was at a price of $5.25. Now, CHF Solutions to participate at Lake Street Capital. That happened in September 17th. I'm not going to go through the details, but if you'd like to watch it, I'm pretty sure on YouTube there's different versions of these recordings, but you can watch it later on. The next thing they have is it was the stockholder on record for September 11th. They're going to be voting on October 6th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for 3 different proposals. First one is increase shares reverse to 17%. And then the one that is actually quite interesting is the 1 for 5 to 1 of 30 reverse split. So that would be interesting, right? And there is a reason why they're trying to go for this, but let's just go quickly into Dr. Jeffrey's presentation that will take part from October 3rd to October 5th, and that's why it's actually running at the current moment. There's different things in terms of the webinar, which includes their HF patients that is significant to 90% of HF hospitalizations due to signs and symptoms of fluid overload. There's different things in there. I did mention it before in previous video when it comes in towards the presentation they have. Now, one thing is that they did receive an extension all the way until February 24th of 2021 to regain compliance. And the CEO has mentioned as well that they have a strong belief that they will actually see, they will maintain the NASDAQ requirement. Right here, we believe we will regain compliance during the extended time period and continue to remain focused on driving revenue growth. We are happy that medical community has embraced the ultrafiltration therapy using Aquadex system to treat pediatric patients, critically ill COVID-19 patients, and patients suffering from fluid overload due to heart failures and other care conditions. Now, the question comes into, are they going to actually pass that reverse split? So arguments to why is, well, here's the thing. This stock is trading at 37.5. Are the majority of stockholders going to be voting yes? I think there is a good chance that they're not. It has been rejected previously in their history. Eventually they do get yes, but since they have all the way ahead to February 2021, there's a lower chance of it getting approved. Now, if it does get approved, so that's the bull side says there's a conference. Reverse split probably won't be happening, and this stock has a lot of PR coming. There's a lot of attention and volume poured in. That's the bull side comment. Now, the bear side would tell you, well, stochastic is a really high. That could see a pullback, right? We're looking as well in terms of the 1 hour perspective. It looks like it might be pulling back a little. Another bear kind of sign would be, well, it's actually tempting towards going negative MACD. Might not be fully reversed. And on a 1 month, 1 day perspective, it's actually overbought. Moving averages look bearish on the 1 day perspective. So those are all significant bear arguments and bull arguments. Now, where do I stand on this one is that I see a lot of pumping happening for this stock. And usually I hate when pumping happens. It benefits people that are down here, right? Amazing. You scored 33%. But then people buying over here and then it sees a pullback. that's where the danger is. I always buy on pullbacks. But in terms of the future for this company, it looks like it has its future. I'm not going to discuss the very long term part. I'm not saying it's bad or good. I'm just saying that in the very short run, there's a lot of focus in terms of the conference on October 3rd to 5th. That's Saturday. So I do expect a sell-off happening on Friday because people usually don't go through conferences and hold. They usually sell either right after the conference or during the conference, and sometimes even before if it's on a weekend. So this one is happening on a weekend. I do expect either a sell-off to hit on Friday or Monday. That might be a better entry there, but definitely it looks like a quite dangerous spot to be in. What do you think about this ticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like. You have a wonderful day.